Hey girl, welcome to the Black Girl Voices podcast. I'm Shivaun,
And I'm Whitney.
and every week we get together to laugh, cry, shade, and share everything from pop culture to racism.
So grab your headphones and your oversized mug and come and join the conversation.
Welcome back to the Black Girl Voices podcast. By now you already know our names, but we haven't introduced ourselves in a while. So I'm Shivaun, and this is the lovely, the beautiful, the talented, the luxurious hair don't care.
Sure doesn't. Hi, y'all.
Whitney.
It's Whitney. Hello. Hi, with my oversized mugs and my sniffles.
Oh my gosh. Always with the oversized mugs, but we don't like the sniffles.
No.
We don't like the sniffles. How are you though?
Outside of being congested, and enraged whenever I open my phone.
Yeah. Outside of those little minor details.
Like having to answer people who want to be terrorists on the internet, that type of stuff.
Listen.
Or dealing with my employer, also known as my 3-year-old.
I am about tired of the internet trolls. Like, that are just committed to being assholes. This is the best way I can describe it.
No, assholes. You're nail on the head. It's just like, what is your motivation? Like, to terrorize people? But then this is like, on the other hand, it's like you're a complete coward because like nine times out of 10 they don't use a real name, they don't use a real profile picture. It's just like, hey, my name is first name and a whole bunch of numbers at the end, and I have a really terrible opinion and I'm going to share it on the internet. And it's just like, what, girl?
And it's like, you need to listen to this. You have to hear this dissertation.
Right. And I'm like, no, block. No, I don't.
Wow.
I be playing with them though.
Before you do. No, I love that though. Whitney because you're so witty though. Like you have you're quick. Like I'm good at thinking of a response, but then I have to type it out and you can just.
You're so smart though. You're so smart.
I think I overthink it.
You give a lot. Well, remember we're dealing with trolls here, so
I know
thinking is not the best thing that they do because
right.
Well, I mean, can we
go for real though?
Can we be honest? No. You're wasting your precious breaths terrorizing people for wanting equality. That's what you're doing with your time. So thinking is not their best thing. So you don't give them anything. You don't have to explain anything to them. Who said it? Was it Toni Morrison who said the very function of racism is distraction? Its very function is to distract you. Its very function is to make you do the work of disproving what a bigot's saying. We don't have to do that. I do it for fun on the internet.
I think that's my problem. That's what I admire. When you come back at them, you're just you're not coming back at them with with I mean, sometimes you do, and I love that too. You'll come back with all of these facts.
Of course.
And to disprove everything they say. Yeah. But I put too much time and energy into wanting to write out all of the statistics when really I should just go as low and as little as they are, or just not put any energy into it at all.
Treat them like a child who is throwing a temper tantrum in front of you, and you know how we do that do not engage thing?
Yes.
Where it's do not engage. Or treat them like this person that's really just trying to get on your nerves, and realize that that's the closest to. Someone said it online, and God, please, someone, if you can find this person, tag her. She said the closest some people will get to success is having to bite off of you to see what it tastes like. And I gotta find her.
And that's friends. That's so-called friends, and that's peers.
Everybody. Anyone can be a troll. Anyone can be a troll.
Because sometimes your biggest troll is that person in your DMs all the time telling you, go sis, or I love what you're doing, or asking you for advice on how they can do it too. Sometimes your biggest troll is that person you've been pouring into on the internet. But
I already told you my story. I already told you about my story. But yes, that drives me nuts. That whole part. I could deal with the trolls that I don't know on the internet, but there's something when the troll is sitting across from you at brunch. Child.
And you know it too.
And they know it too.
Either it's not very hard. I love the TikTok and the social media, FBI, the people who can
not the FBI.
I love them. I appreciate them, but that's not me. But what it
No,
isn't
not
hard
many.
to do is sometimes y'all's troll accounts are just linked to your email
You
address
know that we could
so
just
that we can
we
just
could
see
see you.
with our eyes.
We could
So
see you.
y'all
No,
might want to maybe make a
dial
fake
that back.
email address for that.
Dial that back. Dial
Yeah.
that back. How are
But
you though?
I do have to ask for prayer.
Of course.
So yesterday, I was going to the car, dropped my Apple Watch, right? Everything looked good, didn't think it was broken. Today, I got to my workout class and my Apple Watch didn't work, and I did a whole workout. I did a whole workout without my Apple Watch.
Not an analog workout.
So, yes, the workout didn't
No.
count in my head.
Even though it counts in your body.
It counted, but in my mind, if I don't see those steps
You
and
need to
those
see the rings
calories,
close.
I need visual. I'm like a child. Like, oh, I didn't get my sticker.
I need my
Well, I'm
sticker,
never
please.
doing this again.
No Apple Watches. No. Don't.
But no, on a serious note, I'm actually doing okay. So, tomorrow we're taking my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, but it's my father-in-law turned 70 this year.
Oh, wonderful.
Cruise to the Bahamas. So we're excited about that. They've never
Yay.
been on a cruise. They've never been out of the country.
I love them so much. They're so great.
I know. So I'm so excited.
Oh, they're going to have so much fun.
And I'm excited to unplug a little bit. I've
Amen.
been like putting a lot into like, our
everything
Black Girl Voices page. And then, we record all the time. You know what it's like better than anybody. Like, but it's rough. I think you guys, some of you who aren't in that space underestimate, and I can say that confidently because sometimes I will go into my inbox. And
please
I will say, first I'm going to quickly just apologize that my DMs are a little crazy, and here's why.
Oh, mine are insane. So
here's why I'm going to apologize, because I will never be that person who's too good to respond to their DMs, because some of y'all out here saw a little bit of numbers and now you can't be in community with people, right? So this isn't that. This is one of those cases that I have like other life stuff going on, and I have like work outside of the work I do online going on. And when I say sometimes you guys don't understand how much goes into it, is and how I know that is some of the DMs are questions trying to get me to further do
more work
that I'm already doing. And I know that a lot of those DMs aren't ill-intentioned, right? They don't mean harm, but some of y'all don't understand how much harm
they don't realize it
that causes.
They don't realize it.
Like, I just want y'all to sit with that. Like, it is already so traumatic. Educating people on our own humanity, something that should just already be, and reliving history that like is traumatic as hell. Because as much as we want to root like Black history in joy, it is, but so much of it is rooted in like oppression, because we're still overcoming that. And so much of it is rooted in the violence that was done to us. And a lot of times when people are requesting education, it isn't on those joyful topics. Like, they don't want to know who created maxi pads and didn't get the credit for it. They want to know, like, the hard.
How did Emmett Till die? Give me all the details of this 14-year-old boy.
By any chance that you can check? Like, it's like that. I mean, we're being extreme, but for real, like it be that kind of stuff.
It literally is that type of stuff regularly. Yeah.
Like, I'm still processing like Ryan Gaynor. Like, I know y'all have moved on.
Nope.
But us Black folks, right? Like, just
we don't ever move on.
Right. And just because we're still functioning as like, like everyday humans, like, it's just a survival tactic. Because at this point, like, we have to keep functioning.
We have to keep functioning. Like, if we broke down every single time somebody that looked like us or resembled our child or was part of our community was horribly, like, faced some type of horrible end, we would never have peace. We would never have peace.
Child. But let's pivot. Hey. Let's pivot to pop culture.
Oh, fun.
First, we got to talk about J.Lo, because I am.
Is she okay?
I am enjoying the J.Lo drag. I'm so sorry.
So can I tell you, I know nothing about what's going on with J.Lo because I was so caught up with what's going on with Diddy.
Child, we're gonna get to Diddy in a minute.
Okay.
Child, the J.Lo drag.
What's going on?
Okay, so apparently, right, she put out, J.Lo's been the block this, right? And people are calling for justice for the block.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
They said, Jennifer, we've never seen you on said block. And then they're bringing out receipts that she went to like this very, like uppity, private school.
Wait.
Yes, and they brought the pictures out.
Wait.
And then they asked her what her favorite order was at like a bodega. And she was like, a ham and cheese roll, an orange drink if you know, and a bag of chips. And all the people from New York are like, what, bitch, what orange drink? What are we talking about? And so they're calling for justice for the block. And then, okay, she put out a documentary about her own life. Okay.
Was it a musical too?
And I think it was a musical as well. And one of the clips that I found so cringy, but I'm so glad she let us all laugh, was she was asking people, like other artists and like actors and stuff, to be in this. And they were all like, no. And so she was like, wait, this person said no? Wait, this person also said no? This person. And I'm like, girl, I would have cut that out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would not have kept that in.
Not have tortured that out of me.
No.
And she's like in the documentary, she's like, her hair's a little messy, but like a little messy is still like put together.
Yeah,
of course. She's like, when my hair is like this, I think about when I was a little wild girl in the Bronx, and people are like stitching it.
Wild girl
She's like running up the streets of the Bronx, and they're like, bitch, when do we do that? When are we running up and down the street? What is going on? So I'm here for the J.Lo slander, justice for Ashanti.
You said it. Nope. That last line. That was it.
Ashanti.
Ashanti, please.
That's why your music isn't selling, because you're not using Ashanti's voice anymore.
Oh, did you notice something? Maybe what's the name of that actress? The one that she's getting all the awards, and I want to say her name right, and she's beautiful. She's got this beautiful name, and it's escaping me. It's oh my goodness. She's the one who made all them jokes about J.Lo can't sing.
Which one?
She made all these jokes about J.Lo can't sing, and then like, yeah, and then hold on, this is what Google is for. Hold on, wait.
Is she like younger?
Yes, and she's very pretty.
Yes, I know who you're talking
very
about.
Smart.
The name is so escaping me as well.
Hold on, J.Lo.
But J.Lo is definitely getting her ass handed to her right now, and it's just, I also think this is like a moment where, at what point don't like celebrities and like singers look at their career and say, you know what, let me go out on top. Let me go out while, like the same with like like an NFL player or a basketball player, right? Like, at what point don't we retire?
Right. And her name was Ayo Edebiri.
Yes.
Flowers, because she's right.
She is doing her thing right now. So
okay,
shout out to her.
And she's
girl, if you want to come on the podcast,
you're welcome.
Please,
we'd love you.
Want to hear it all?
Come on and check, child. Because I want to hear.
Yes,
I want to hear what this recent drag, because that's what I thought everybody was dragging her about. J.Lo like posted something about Ayo coming to her dressing room and like in tears and tearfully apologizing, and I'm like, what? Like in the middle of Ayo's like big moment, like she's getting like all these awards and stuff. Like, yeah, that's what I thought everybody was dragging her for. I didn't know that we were like trying to reclaim the block.
Child, I want you to just type in J.Lo on TikTok.
Oh my God, I'm so scared.
No, you need some joy. It's like so funny. It is so funny.
Oh goodness.
Also, before we get to Diddy, do you watch Real Housewives?
Child, you know I don't watch any TV. Damn. Bluey. We watch Bluey here. Mika.
At some point we gotta talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. But Diddy though. Diddy. I am sick and tired of y'all asses coming to the damn defense of this millionaire.
Wait, y'all are defending him?
Or I say defense because if you're using this, to me, you might as well be defending, right? With well, how come this person didn't get
All
locked up?
right, so we're not going to do
Well,
whatabouts. We're
yeah,
not going to
well,
do
what
whatabouts.
about Dan Snyder, the Nickelodeon guy?
Isn't he in
How
jail
come
currently?
I don't think he's in jail. I do think that he
He's in a
produced
lot of
a lot of
trouble.
he is. Like a lot of stuff is getting revealed and a lot of people signed NDAs.
Yeah.
I do know
I'm
that
sure they had
NDAs
to.
aren't like they can't be like upheld in court. I thought if like a crime or something, if it has to do with a crime, so I'm not sure how
Child,
that works.
listen.
Not an expert in law, guys. Okay, so don't come for me.
Don't.
But I want them to be in jail too.
Yeah.
I need y'all to understand
Yeah.
both. Understand the word and.
And.
Because it's like, well, we have all this smoke for Diddy. Why don't we have da-da-da? No, we should have smoke for Diddy because he's a nasty ass human being.
Nasty. So nasty.
Child.
No. You know how you just know something's up? You know, you just before the Cassie thing came out, just you know how you just have a feeling that something was up, and you're just like,
yeah.
Maybe it's just like the Black woman intuition, because that's like a real thing. We need to talk about that. Where the spidey senses go off, and you're like, something is amiss. Something is wrong. It's that survival mentality that kept our people alive for so long. Yeah, I felt like something was up, something was coming down the pipeline, and then here comes Cassie, and with the Adult Survivors Act information, and now these new lawsuits. So I was just like, oh, the goose is cooked. The goose.
You know who I feel bad for though? I feel bad for his daughters.
Yes.
Because they're like 15 or 16, right?
They're really young. Yeah.
So they're in their teens. Their mother is gone. Their father, what I'm assuming, right, is their sole support. I do know that their older brother Quincy now is taking care of them. But your mother's gone. They're online, so we can't pretend that they never see any of these allegations against their father.
They see it.
And how do you navigate growing up with that kind of influence?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then like what happens once, I assume, I mean, I don't know where this case is going to go. I do think that there's a lot of powerful people involved. And so when that happens, justice tends not to be served to the capacity it needs to be served, i.e. everybody who's involved needs to also be in jail.
True. But remember, they're Black.
Yes. That's true. But I think
Black.
there's a lot of I think there's a lot of powerful white people involved in this because you got to think about producers, business owners. So I'm thinking on that scale, who also had knowledge of like what was going on. So I think that there's going to be a lot of like protecting him to protect their own ass,
which is disgusting.
And I even like I looked at my husband the other day and I said, I can't imagine wanting to be married to you if I had knowledge that you had a friend who sexually assaulted multiple women or people, right? Women, men, people, theys, them, anybody, multiple people, and you were still good friends with them,
right? And you were just okay with that.
I don't want to be in community with you.
No, not especially not that close a community. Are you kidding me?
Right. Because you condone that is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, my heart definitely goes out for them girls. I hope that they're getting the best care. I'm sure that they're well taken care of, but I hope that my concern is for their mental state and their well-being. I cannot imagine what they potentially have seen, what they potentially have heard, like all of that. Because like, it wasn't like he was doing these things in the dark. Right. Some of these stories, he was in the middle of meetings
and recording sessions and like, what is wrong?
What is wrong with you?
Parties. I'm not even gonna go into any kind of detail, but I will say, shout out and prayers to Rodney Jones, Lil Rod, who I guess submitted the lawsuit and came forward with all of the sexual assault that was done to him by Diddy for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like the to any survivor listening, honestly, like
Right.
just you are so brave. And even for
Right.
those who don't come forward for fear of retaliation or just fear itself, you are so brave
Right.
for just existing and surviving.
Surviving. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we do too much questioning victims' motives or when they came out or why they didn't come out.
That drives me crazy.
It does.
Because it's like, it's your story. You could tell
Why are
your
we
story when you were ready.
Yes, and why are we villainizing the victim is what I don't understand.
Because we're more comfortable keeping people in power. And think about it, we've seen this happen and play out, not just in this Diddy situation, but across the board, across history, since time immemorial. They would rather protect the powerful person so they can be associated with the powerful person than actually protect the victims of this powerful person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how can I benefit from you? I'll keep you safe. I'll keep you safe. I'll keep your name safe. I'll keep these things clean for you.
Yep.
As opposed to saying, you horrible monster, what have you done? Like, what have you done? And let's get some accountability.
That's good. But I also think that is another example on how even Black men are protected under the patriarchy. Powerful, right? Obviously, there's class
power,
to that. Yeah, power and money. But even how they have a protection under the patriarchy because you had so much money, right? You were able to get away with this for X amount of time, decades. And again, who knows what kind of justice will be served? So
if at all,
if at all.
Because, like, think about it. Cassie's situation was a civil suit. It was a civil suit. Now, I'm glad she got what she got.
Right.
But, you know, and he settled the next day.
Right. And I
settled the next day.
What was driving me crazy is people were like, oh, if he was such a terrible person, why didn't she take it, like, to trial or whatever? Do you understand how even her just settling in a civil suit, but bringing it to light, encouraged other people to speak out?
Hello, that part.
It literally created a snowball effect of like, oh, since we talking about Diddy, let's go ahead.
Like, thank you for opening the door.
Yes.
Here's these other people who would like to walk through.
And I'm sure that's so hard. That was probably so hard. That probably is so hard.
It's an exposure that is painful, and the court of public opinion is not like the court of law, where people will demonize you simply for just telling that someone hurt you. Hello, Megan Thee Stallion. And let's look at the power dynamics of that. Tory Lanez is nowhere near as gifted, as talented, or as wealthy.
I know, as Meg. Y'all trying to make us like that music just because you want to be misogynistic. But
like, just be honest.
Come on,
guys. Be honest. Just this is the thing that gets me about bigots, about hateful people in general. Y'all refuse to just be honest about your hatred. Like, just embrace it like the ancestors did. Just embrace that shit.
I would respect it. Honestly, I respect it.
I wouldn't like it, but I would respect it way more. Yes. I told a troll that today. I said, because he said something like, I forget what he was talking about. He was talking about, I don't like black people. You're all a pack of monkeys. I was like,
I saw that comment.
I was like, at least you're honest. I was like, you're ignorant and hateful, but you're honest.
Yes.
You have the courage to be honest. Now go away.
And it also, it's like instantly once they're like, oh, I just hate women. Yes. Okay. Now I can disengage and just go on about my day. Because
why do I need to talk to you?
Right. This isn't you didn't misunderstand something or like something's unclear. You just hate women.
You just hate women.
And some of y'all hate women and you hate yourself.
That's your business. Right. That's your business. That's your business. If you want to be a hateful ass, go ahead and be a hateful ass. Be a hateful ass over there. But be a hateful ass with some gusto, with some courage. Don't hide.
Put your profile picture in your job. In your bio.
Don't code it. Don't try to change it into something else that it ain't, which is another topic we'll probably talk about later. But don't try to code it and say that it's not. No, you hate women. You know
what the problem is? And they're just not ready to unpack. And this is a whole...
They're never ready to unpack.
I won't get too far into it, but the problem is some of y'all's first bullies were your mothers. Women
so
too.
you don't like us.
Some of y'all's first bullies were your mothers.
That's not
That and
wrong.
some of y'all's mothers were more committed to raising you to be the men they never had instead of raising you to be a good man in general.
Whoa, you came out swinging. Golly. Golly.
Y'all, because I saw a TikTok video and I made a video in response to it, and the girl, the lady in the video was like, do y'all ever just like think about when your kids grow up? And so far I'm like, oh, okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and one day your sons are going to grow up and then they're going to marry somebody else and then they're going to forget about you, and then
What do you mean?
and then you're going to have to do things like call before you go over to their house. And I
What
was
do you
like,
mean?
lost me
Wait,
there.
are
No,
you okay?
I don't. And it made me think back to like, it was almost like a moment where I could like really validate why the LGBTQ plus community feels so confused about the villainization about them and children, when heterosexual people are so obsessed with their children's
So
sex
gross.
lives and
So gross.
relationships and
It's
marriages.
disgusting.
Why do y'all, when I think about
Pageants alone.
child,
Pageants alone.
putting the fake teeth into their children's mouth so they look like
The
adults,
tight dresses and the weird cutouts. What does my 5-year-old need a cutout on her hip for? I don't have a 5-year-old yet, but when I do.
But even that, right? Like the clothing aside and like the sexualization of just them is one thing. But the obsession with these hypothetical marriages and relationships and who they're going to have sex with, and when I think about my kids as adults, I think about, wow, I wonder if they're going to be good people.
Thank you.
Wow, I wonder what kind of career they're going to choose.
Right.
Or wow, like if I ever do think about them in relationships, it's wow, I hope I've raised them well enough that they're good people and they can break the cycles of like anything toxic that I went through. Yeah. And
like when I think about it, my whole thing is like they better love you.
Yeah.
They better love you. Like I put a lot of love in you. So you have a lot of love to give.
So I hope you love yourself enough.
That part.
To be able to choose someone who loves you. But like absolutely. I don't think about
never.
Like, and I see this a lot with like the hashtag boy moms, right? Like this whole like, oh, you belong to me, like
no. Your children don't belong
your
to
wives
you.
Are gonna have to like pry you out of my cold dead hands. Like,
which is weird. What aren't you married?
Why is your ownership?
Do you have a boyfriend? Like, do you?
But even if you don't, that's the
even
problem.
If you don't,
their son, or even I hate the saying like, "Oh, he's the man of the house." No, he's your child.
That's your child.
Even when I was single, when I was a single mother, it was just me and my son. My son was never the man of the house.
Never.
I was the adult. He's a boy, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, there is no man in this house.
Right, and the lessons that I taught him didn't differ from the lessons that I would have taught him if there was a man in the house.
Right.
Like, and I.
What are y'all okay?
Is everybody okay?
Can we sit? Let's talk about this for a second. Maybe I don't understand because I'm hashtag girl mom, but also I'm sorry. You know I don't take this shit seriously. I'm sorry. Wait, don't drown. Oh no.
Please don't.
I'm sorry. Don't drown. Don't drown.
No, but it's like a movement. And the reason I say that is because when you see like the hashtag boy moms on Instagram, right? It's all like, not all, but it's so much like toxicity in this. Like, and I say this all the time because I grew up this way and I hated it. And I still to this day deal with a lot of resentment. People raise their daughters and coddle their sons.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Why are you teaching your daughters life skills and teaching your sons how to just exist? Mm-hmm. Then they grow up and they're these emotionally unavailable, emotionally dangerous,
she's swinging today, y'all.
Worthless men that don't know how to do shit. Like everybody should learn how to cook because people need to eat. Everybody should learn how to clean because you should keep your house clean.
You should keep
like
your
men aren't
clean.
even wiping their asses because it's gay.
When I saw that, I about threw up in my mouth. I said, "You mean to tell me
you're not washing?
You want me to put my mouth where?" And you ain't washed what?
I don't even want to put my mouth there.
On you.
You ain't washed there.
I'm not kissing you on your face.
Yes. If you can't wash your ass. You're telling me your masculinity is so damn fragile, you can't put some soap on a rag and stick it in your ass crack and wipe your ass?
Why doesn't this feel like a culturally relevant problem? This doesn't feel like This is not for the
No, you know
Tyrones and
what?
them.
Some of them need to hear it too, because they've got a lot. It's a lot of toxic
What?
masculinity in the Black community. Maybe not with that specific.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's one of ours. But no. The
Yeah.
toxicity exists. But washing your ass is not the thing.
Yes.
No, girl. No, I don't think so.
Y'all are worried about drag queens reading stories to your children.
And you won't wash your ass.
You need to worry about if your husband washes his ass or not.
Listen.
If you're going to be a bigot, be a clean one at least.
Don't be a dirty ass bigot.
We're fucking tired. I know people of the LGBTQ community are tired. And I know sometimes they just look at heterosexual people and be like, are y'all okay?
No, we're not. And I tell my friends regularly who are queer, I'm like, we are not okay.
Yeah,
Please.
I'm I'm just...
Can I just hang out over here for a little bit, y'all? Don't make me go back over there with them.
My God.
Don't make me go back over there
These
with them.
conversations are just like, what is going on?
What is happening? Someone, please let me know, because holy smokes, y'all not washing y'all not wiping your ass.
Or you're so concerned about a trans person using the bathroom, right? That you're saying we should be checking people to see if their genitals match the thing, right? So you're calling trans people pedophiles, but you want to check to see if people have the genitals to match the bathrooms.
That's pedophilia.
Let's talk about what's not making sense to me.
Also, you're ready to check the trans person that just wants to pee like everybody else, but you're not checking your pastors.
Ooh.
Especially them youth pastors. I can't tell you how many posts I've seen from youth pastors who are up there in my age, marrying these girls who are barely legal, talking about, I watched you grow up through the church. That's not gross to you? That's not disgusting?
Right. The grooming.
Can I tell you? All right. I promise you. Okay. Let me tell, because hold on. As a minister's wife, as a person who I know that my husband, I know for a fact, I see the God calling in him, and I see him being he's a compassionate and kind and brilliant and wonderful leader. I see the Lord taking us to, and I say us because we're in ministry together, taking us to some leadership position at a church. I swear to God, if some man comes and says that he wants my daughter's hand in marriage, and he is a youth pastor, and he watched her grow up, I promise you I'm coming out and I'm swinging shoes. I promise you. You will read about it on the newspaper. Local minister's wife tries to murder me.
What gets me though, right?
Gross!
I think you said this in another episode. Y'all don't be having the same energy. And I'm going to tell you why.
Y'all never have the same energy.
Because we have watched over time, over our lifespan of adults on the internet, we have watched multiple pastors come online with apology videos about something they did, and a lot of them have been inappropriate relations with young people in the ministry, right? And I'm a comment reader. I'm always going to read the comments. And absolutely. The comments are always filled with this forgiveness
we
and like,
forgive you.
We're
You're
all
just a man.
All fall
short.
There's no crown of thorns on your head yet. Okay, true. But why don't they get villainized in the same way that trans people get villainized for just existing? And furthermore, I think it's interesting that we had a whole campaign launch on LGBTQ plus people in general, but trans people specifically, on them being pedophiles, when whole of last year, I forgot where it was, and gosh, I wish I could reference the account right now, but at the end of the year, somebody made a collage of all of these pictures of people who were actual pedophiles and committed actual sexual assault on minors. And they were cops, lawyers, so many were fucking pastors and politics. Yeah. And cops, lawyer, politics, cops, lawyers, politics, pastors. And someone said, and in the comments, it would just say, oh, not a drag queen. Oh, this must be a drag queen. Oh, wonder if this is a drag queen. Y'all's energy doesn't match. At least have your bigotry have the same energy. You know what I mean? You want to crucify somebody for existing, but you can't crucify the pastor who's been messing with the 13-year-old child who comes to them for advice.
Right.
Or the Catholic pastors or priests or whatever they're called who were messing with little boys for That was like a whole thing.
Decades.
Probably still is a thing, but like
decades.
there was one year that it was like a really big revelation about it.
Yeah.
So like, where's y'all's energy?
They don't have it. They don't have it. It's only the people who you don't understand that are a threat to you. That's what they believe.
That's a good one.
So they feel like they understand the pastor, and which makes it even grosser, because if you find kinship, right? If you find kinship and understanding with the person who looks at a child that way, like, what are you actually saying? So let me just say this here. Anybody can be a predator. Mm-hmm. Anybody. I just want to make that clear. But what the data says, I'm looking at what the data says.
Talk about the data.
And what the data says is my kid is more safe in a drag queen story time than they are at a prayer meeting. And that's a problem. That is a massive
Wait, can we repeat that? I think I missed it. The data says
what the
that
data
they're more
says
safe where?
At a drag queen story time than at a prayer meeting.
Oh.
That's what the data.
Who are at prayer meetings? Are there drag queens at the prayer meetings?
I mean, they could be, but that's not who we're talking about.
Yeah. Are the drag queens leading the prayer meetings in the churches? Majority.
Like I said, anybody can be a predator.
Right.
I'm not saying that there is no.
Because somebody will hear this and be like,
"What about?"
I know a trans person or a gay person or a drag queen that once assaulted a child. Great. We didn't say it didn't exist.
We didn't say that didn't exist. We said that anyone could be a predator. What we are saying is we're looking at strictly the data, because just like you're a comments girl, you know me. I love some data. Let me see some data on this. Let me see what the collection of information looks like. Let me see some journalistic, pieces about this. Yes, that's what it's called. Thank you. You saw me struggling over there. Thank you, friends.
You always find my words and I find yours.
Thank you. Look at the kinship. Look at the kinship. But yes, I get really frustrated about this, because it's like people would rather side with folks who they know are doing. This is a repeat of Diddy. People would rather side with folks who they know who are doing harm but have some form of power.
Yes.
Because they see themselves with the power. It's the same thing with white supremacy. White people were bigots in particular, not all white people, obviously. But bigots in particular would rather side with billionaires who wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire, but try to sell them $60 Bibles. Did you see that shit? Did you see? I said Trump is trying to sell chicken plates.
Not the fish fry. Not Trump and the fish fry.
A $60 Bible that has the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights that you're violating currently.
I don't know if you saw this comment, and I was living for it. Somebody said, okay, if you want to take this back, and it was a person who wasn't even religious. They said, okay, we want to take this back to religion, right? They were like, Jesus was a very peaceful person. But the only time he turned up and flipped tables were when people were trying to sell shit in the churches and sell religious sacraments and whatever. Jesus turned up. So you're telling me that you're so Christian and holy and religious and you'll support Trump for no matter what he does because you're a good Christian.
Right.
But that part of the Bible we're just going to omit, when Jesus was like, nah, turn up in here. We're not selling religious shit.
But also, my favorite part of that story was that the folks that were doing the selling, they were money changers, and they were taking advantage of people.
Mm-hmm.
They were taking full advantage of people.
Just
and
like that $60 damn Bibles.
To see Jesus get pissed off really like affirmed me when I get pissed off, because the things that piss me off piss off my Savior. I'm like, oh, we are in alignment. Yes, let's flip tables together, Jesus. The funny thing was, Jesus was also walking around, and they said that he observed these things while fashioning a whip. That means he was watching y'all do this while making the instrument that he would use.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, do you know how much thought has to go into making?
Who sits there and they wrap that down up. Y'all know, if y'all grew up with an old school black mama, okay? I know we're all in the season of gentle parenting and we're breaking the generational curses, but I'm talking about how we grew up.
But
okay? Y'all know how the mama would sit there, she'd get that
like a volcano.
And she's wrapping that belt around her hand, getting ready to whip your ass while she's watching you do
while
the
she's
thing.
watching you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's so relatable that like I'm like, oh, you get upset about the things that I get upset about. Like, I feel validated in like saying like I'm like, these people don't know you. These people don't know you, and they're peddling your word, and they're bastardizing the belief system that you gave us, and like they're making it into a joke. Like, this is a mockery. Like, this feels like a skit on Saturday Night Live.
No, it does.
Tell me it does. Like, it feels like a skit.
I feel like everything I see at this point is just like,
it's a joke.
Are we fucking for real?
Like, I thought it was a joke. I was like, whose AI did this? The man is really selling a $60 Bible. Are you kidding me?
We're not
to try to pay a bail.
We're not kidding about anything anymore.
Oh my gosh. Somebody's illegal behind baby daddy is trying to run for president. Trying to pay for bail. This is ghetto. This is ghetto.
But you know what else is ghetto? Real unserious, real quick. Have you been seeing people's like hear me out? So it'll be hear me out, and they'll show a picture of like somebody who you wouldn't conventionally find attractive.
Typically,
but they find attractive. So someone did. Don't ask me why it made me laugh so hard. Someone did a hear me out. And it's Black people, because we're so unserious.
We are very unserious.
It was a Black girl. She did a hear me out, and I slid over the picture, and it was George Bush.
Wait.
And someone in the comments was like, you just know he'll talk you through it. What?
Some of y'all got left behind, and I feel it. No child left behind. Y'all got left behind.
He was talking to some of you guys.
Wait. So while we're here, just for the fun of it,
do you have one?
Do you have one? I do have one.
Who? Okay, you tell yours, and I'm gonna think about who mine might be.
Michael Keaton.
Who?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Let me look at this man. What is he playing?
Batman, child, and a bunch of other stuff too. Michael Keaton.
I know you're fucking lying. Is this who? Girl. Okay.
I saw him at the Oscars, and I said, "Wait a minute."
All white men, though.
Yeah.
So then, I do have two.
You have two.
I have two. One, I can't think of his name. Okay, but the man from Scandal, the president, Fitz.
Oh, that's not terrible.
That's a hear me out.
That's not.
Well,
terrible.
then the other one, I don't think is that bad either. Kennedy. Child, that man was fine.
John F.
Yeah.
I was like, which one?
That man,
it better not be Robert. I'm gonna fight you.
No, that man was fine. That man was fine. I guess I think we talked about this on He's Civil Rights Fine. Y'all probably haven't heard that episode yet, but I think I said Malcolm X. But I think he's conventionally attractive.
Just good looking. Shout out to Sister Shabazz.
Shout out.
Lord. Good job, ma'am. That was that. Yeah.
Good.
I don't think he's civil rights fine. I think he's just fine. But he's like multi-generational fine.
And I think about the voice and the voice during activities.
Get off the phone. I don't know why I even dove into this with you. You're going to be a problem.
Read me your next speech during.
not read me your next speech. Stop disrobing.
Yes. Tell me again how Black women are the most disregarded and disrespected.
Oh my gosh.
Please.
You are hilarious. Now I'm trying to think of another one. Because all my hear me outs are like conventionally like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I have any like hear me outs that are like too terrible. Now I will say.
Oh no.
What is
happening?
So nobody else. When I was little, I used to think Scar from Lion King was fine as fuck. I'm not gonna hold you.
I mean, the
Scar
swag.
Was fine as hell.
It was the swag.
I know he's a lion.
It's okay. Swag. It was a swag. It's okay. But I'm not gonna condemn you for that. Scar
was fine.
It was
Aladdin too.
You know what? I found myself rooting for Killmonger, and I hated myself for it because, like, I'm like, I get he's saying the same thing as Lupita's character. They're saying the same thing. They're just coming from it from different angles, but they're saying the same thing. I'm like, revolutionary,
But you
burn
know,
this shit
Michael B
down.
is just fine anyway.
I mean, I never thought of him that way until that film.
Really?
No, I think
Okay,
he just
I will agree though. I will
that
agree because
film did
I've
it.
always thought he was like, oh, he's cute, you know,
I have
like
a
he's a good looking
revolutionary
guy.
streak. I have a revolutionary streak where I'm just like,
Yeah. Yeah, I
look
just
at you
thought he
burning
was
shit
cute.
down. When he said, how'd you get all these artifacts? How do you think you got all these artifacts? I was
Yeah.
like, whew,
I
whew.
thought that in that movie he was villainized for like the wrong reasons.
I don't feel like he was a villain. Like, I
Yes,
don't feel
I
like he was
feel
a villain. I feel like if you understand his story, you understand like what he went
hurt
through.
people hurt people.
Yeah, like y'all killed his daddy and then abandoned him. Now
Yeah.
his daddy was messed up, rightfully so. Y'all couldn't take him back. Y'all had
Yeah.
to leave him. Y'all had to let him struggle like this. And he's a whole prince of a powerful, impactful nation. Y'all couldn't take his daddy back and like y'all couldn't try to figure this out. It's too much. It was too much. So I understood his rage, but like that was part of like the genius of that particular film where it's just like
Oh yeah.
the arguments between Africans and African Americans emerges where it's
Yes.
just like, yo, why do y'all over there hate us so much for getting caught?
You're right.
And
Right.
why have like did you try to come back for us? Did you try to look
Which
for us?
brings me to the with
Which
the thing
can
on
you
the internet.
even
Can we stop the diaspora wars? Can we
Girl,
please? Like I'm so sick of them on the internet. Like
throw them away. All y'all have good jollof.
you,
All y'all, it's
right?
delicious. No matter
No,
where you get it from, it's
like
good. I'm gonna eat it.
can we just all like understand that there's a greater enemy? Okay,
That's the point of the
who hates
of the
us
diaspora
all?
wars. That's the
Okay,
point of the diaspora wars to keep us
the great
divided.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And I think that that's why I don't subscribe to that whole argument. Well, Africans sold some of their people.
Oh, I never.
To white people. Well, shit. If it was you and your family and your husband and someone said you want to keep them safe, you need to sell somebody else.
Yeah.
Or you need to do this for me. Same shit that's kind of going on in Congo right now.
Same shit.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be in power or you want money or you want safety.
Right.
You need to do this for me.
Right.
You might think about it too. Same reason why I say that like we villainize people who, oh gosh, I want to put this in a delicate way. We villainize people who rebel, okay, after they've been harmed and had violence committed to them and experienced years and years of violence and
decades
and seen people bomb their families, their homes, their friends. Even now watch people pull body parts out of rubble, bomb them for trying to get food and water and starve them to death. You might join a movement too.
Right, listen. Right.
You might join a movement too. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the right thing to do. I'm just saying that we are creating the very thing that we want to stop.
Shivaun came out to fight y'all, is what she said. She said she's gonna say some things before she go on her little trip. She said, I'm unpacking some things before I get on this boat.
I clearly had some shit.
I'm trying to get free, okay? That's what she said.
I'm trying to get y'all free. Some of y'all stop listening after this. We're probably gonna get another bad review.
Oh God.
But shout out to some of y'all who have been doing your reviews because clearly, we see the reviews are coming in. We see the downloads are coming in. So thank you guys. I do want to like show some appreciation. Absolutely. I looked on a different platform. I forgot what it's called. I'll share it with you when we get offline. Okay. And I saw we were like 3%, like top 3% out of 3 million podcasts listeners on their platform. So thank you guys.
Thank y'all.
Shout out to the Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys.
We love y'all.
Just the people who show up for us. Thank you guys.
Thank
I want to end
so
this episode with some gratitude because as much as we talk about the people who just ain't shit, right, and the people who cause us like headache, we have some amazing people.
Oh, our community is
in this
dope.
community. Yes.
Yeah, this, and we're not just speaking about just Black women in general, but the community that overall that upholds us.
Yes.
We see y'all, we appreciate y'all, we love y'all, we love that y'all love each other, and y'all are like taking care of each other as well.
Yes.
Educating people, getting to the haters before we do sometimes.
Please. I'm about tired. Like I said, y'all know who am I
I'll
coming
play
for?
with them.
Who am I
I'll play.
I'm coming for their granny.
Let me
Y'all
play with
know.
them. No. You've done enough. Let me play with them.
Yes, yes. From now
Hi.
on, Whitney's dealing with it all. So
Cause
we'll
let me
see
tell
y'all.
you.
We'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.